You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. The following firework displays and 4th of July celebrations will be held over July 3rd and 4th. This list of displays and celebrations is not exclusive. Start time is at dusk for all of these events, unless stated otherwise. This schedule is subject to change depending on weather. It is recommended that you contact the event host for any questions or concerns. In Taylorville on July 4th at 10 a.m., a parade downtown. Directly after the parade, a cookout and veteran ceremony on the courthouse lawn. At 7 p.m., the municipal band will play at Lake Marina, and at dusk, fireworks will be launched at Lake Taylorville. For today, July 3rd, Pana will have an event from 4:30 to 8:30 p.m. It's their family event at the Tri-County Fairgrounds. Then at dusk, we'll launch fireworks from the same location. In Shelbyville or Lake Shelbyville, on July 4th at 3 p.m., food vendors and music will begin at Dam West Recreation Area. Then at dusk, fireworks over Lake Shelbyville. In Hillsborough on July 4th at 10 a.m., a parade downtown. At noon, the Chamber of Commerce Biathlon, and then at dusk, fireworks over the sports complex. Effingham on both July 3rd and 4th. For today, July 3rd at 9:15 p.m., fireworks at Lake Sarah. For July 4th, fireworks at Effingham High School beginning at dusk. In Assumption, fireworks will start at the slag pile at dusk. In Moweaqua, also at dusk on the 4th of July, fireworks at North Park. In Springfield, 2 different firework displays will be launched. However, at 5 p.m., festivities at Knights Action Park begin. Then at 6 p.m., the Rock the Dock celebration at Lake Springfield Marina. Fireworks at Knights Action Park and Lake Springfield begin at dusk. In Bement on July 4th at 8 a.m., they'll have a Run White and Boom 5K with a 1-mile walk at Piatt County Forest Preserve. Then at 2 p.m., parade, followed by bingo, games, inflatables, a foam party, cakewalk, and vendors. And at dusk, fireworks over the football field. In Decatur, events on July 3rd and 4th. For July 3rd, from 6 to 11 p.m., live music and food at the Riverside Center. Then on July 3rd, fireworks at Riverside Park, beginning at dusk. For July 4th, that evening, an Off the Wall performs at Devon Lakeshore Amphitheater. And then on July 4th as well, fireworks being launched over Lake Decatur. In Herrick on July 4th, 10 a.m., a parade through the town. From 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., there will be live music from Van Walen and Loudon Country at Tom Davis Park. All day, however, you can expect food vendors and carnival activities. And then on July 4th, there are fireworks at Tom Davis Park beginning at dusk. In Okanee, on July 4th, the evening will begin with a soup and hot dog fundraiser before fireworks at dusk on the north end of town. In Sullivan on July 4th, they're actually having a carnival right now through July 4th at Wyman Park, and then at dusk on July 4th, fireworks at Wyman Park. And that is a look at a list of several different events and displays going on across central Illinois. Again, that list is subject to change depending on weather. The Christian County Historical Society stays busy when the weather allows for it. Despite the summer heat, they're in the midst of their summer concert series, with performances continuing over the next several weeks. The organization is also celebrating the success of their Earth Day celebration at the end of April. These events and many others come thanks to the Christian County Historical Society's volunteers and their many members, and they are hoping to boost these numbers. The Taylorville Municipal Band completed its first performance of the summer and just 2 weeks ago, and have many more coming up. Jody Heberling, co-president of the CCHS, says these shows encompass a variety of genres.
Right, for 5 more Wednesdays.
5 more.
They do play on the 2nd, and then they play on the 4th at the lake. And then they play on every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. The only time they cancel is lightning storms. And they're working on raising some money also for the music in the school system, to keep the music going in the school systems. And so they've been bringing back some alumni to sing and play and last night they had some Dixieland music, and there's always a good variety of music when they play. It usually lasts a little over an hour. They take a short break in the middle, and we sell strawberry shortcake and water, bottled water. And I think we're very reasonable at our $3 for a strawberry shortcake, because I don't think you can buy anything sweet for $3 anymore.
The Historical Society held its Earth Day celebration last April. They combined good weather and a meaningful cause to produce high turnout.
We had excellent weather that weekend. We had a nice turnout. We tried it on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. We're still on the fence as to which day works better. Had a lot of kids come out and learn about plants and recycling, and it was really a good day. And it was great seeing people have the opportunity to explore our campus or facility. It's we debate on what to call it sometimes. We've done pie auctions in the past, but we did name it the Jim Blakely Memorial because he was one of our big competitors, and he liked to buy pies. He liked to eat pies too. And I think our gooseberry was the highest priced pie, and the coconut cream came in right behind it. And it was another, what we felt was very successful, and we'll be doing it again next year. And you can get some unique pies at that auction.
The organization is always looking for new volunteers and members. As generations directly familiar with the county's history move on, finding the next group of people to get involved has proved difficult.
I think our probably youngest board member is pushing 50. Our oldest ones are in their 80s. So we need to figure out how to find some of these 40 and 30-year-olds to get involved. And it may be as easy as baking a cake with no icing or anything for those strawberry shortcakes, or it may be as intense as being I think they call them a docent for the houses when we do tours. Mm-hmm. We had the YMCA out this summer, and we took, there was an average of about 11 kids per group. We took 6 groups through the houses, and houses, they're not all houses, the buildings, and explained what was going on and gave them a little touch of history, which I think that's the way we'll find them, is to connect with them on that one-on-one basis.
Donations go a long way as well. Heberling says even items you might not think of donating can make all the difference.
We're always looking for donations, and that could be as easy as a package of paper towels or a package of toilet paper. The senior citizens utilize that as they put a wish list in their newsletter. So these are all things that keep us from having to spend money that we have to pay for the light bill, the insurance, the wages that we have 2 part-time employees, because everybody has a busy life. And in order to keep constant hours, you have to pay somebody to be there, because there's just not enough volunteers to fill the slots openly. But it's very nice to have a volunteer out there with our employee. That way, if somebody does come in for a tour, there's somebody still to watch the office. So just coming out and hanging out for an afternoon helps a lot.
During the warm weather months, the Christian County Historical Society is open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. More information is available at christiancountyhistorical.com and at their Facebook page. Jody Heberling appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. The South Fork School District is staying busy over the summer. Building renovations, security upgrades, and a new curriculum are on the agenda for administrators. While they prepare for another academic year, the district expects to see an overall rise in student population after a recent slight decline. Contractors are at school buildings all across the district, doing repairs with the schools otherwise largely empty. Superintendent Chris Clark says roof repairs highlight the work that is being done.
Yeah, absolutely. We got just some building projects around the school going on hot and heavy right now. I know we got two brothers tuck pointing up on top of our gym, doing some brick work up there, make sure it's all secure and everything. Once they complete their brick work up there, we got some roofing company coming in and re-roofing our high school gymnasium. So that's kind excuse me. That's kind of the big project going on over at the high school area right now. At the elementary, we are doing a new secured entrance, and they're going to change the door that the public utilizes. It's kind of all broken down. All the walls are cut apart and ready to rock and roll, just kind of waiting on some material, waiting on some doors to slap in there, and then make the finished product look nice once we get the doors in.
The elementary school will soon feature a separate entrance for parents and other visitors. It's designed to keep students and staff safe.
And we're very fortunate. We have two very able people that we're doing a lot of that work in-house with it. And basically, our elementary set up on it's kind of bi-level. So when you walk in, there was a set of stairs, you either went up or you went down. And you kind of had direct access to the whole school system once you walked in the front door of the elementary. We're actually moving the entrance door for the public down just a little bit to the west. There's another door down there that you only had access to upstairs. So, and we built a wall that blocks that off. So our public, when they come in, they will not have direct access to the whole school. They will have to get buzzed in. There'll be a little lobby area, and the only access they will have is directly to the offices. So we can kind of control the people that come in and out of our buildings to make sure we're providing a safe environment for our kids.
Like many other school districts, South Fork is making changes to its math curriculum. Clark says data is what drives these changes in the way that they are made.
You know, when you kind of think of curriculum, you thought of a book and how far are we going to get through the 7th grade science book this year kind of deal, you know, and a lot of schools, we are very data rich, but using that data effectively is what we don't do very well. So, you know, anymore now that you have tools that can use that data and manipulate the data and really do the data in basically a snap of the hand, and you can pull out, you know, trends and things with that kind of stuff. You can really start utilizing that data to drive what you're doing and how you do it. And it's not, you know, we tell them we don't want you to pick up a book and say get to page 128 by the end of the year. We want you to, every class is going to be different. Every class is going to have their challenges. Every class is going to have their successes. You know, how you manipulate that and how you do it throughout the year is really going to tell how well those kids grow.
The school district reported a slight drop in enrollment in recent years. However, administrators acknowledge that a rise in homeschooling has in part contributed to this. They've also seen a slight increase in the kindergarten size compared to recent years.
I mean, a lot of schools, not just the small ones, are fighting some of that stuff. You know, homeschooling is becoming a lot more popular as you have programs out there now that with the internet access and all the availability with those kind of things, homeschooling has become a bigger, probably not issue, but bigger deal, and more kids are taking advantage of that, and families are, and you can understand families that do some of that homeschooling with different things. And from what I understand, the homeschooling environment has like groups, social media groups and stuff that they can get out and kids connect with and different things. So there are other options out there for kids that maybe they might not have had 20 years ago too in some of those smaller districts. So
learn more about the South Fork School District by visiting southforkschools.com. Superintendent Chris Clark appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. The Taylorville High School basketball team, along with their coach Ryan Brown, teamed up with members of the American Legion on Monday, June 30th, to load up a large supply of donated medical equipment. Crutches, walkers, and canes were gathered from the Legion Hall and were sent off to the Midwest Mission Distribution Center near Chatham, Illinois. Legion members Ricky Reed, Glenn Berry, and Dick Breckenridge were also on hand to help. The equipment will support people in need both across the country and in communities around the world. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news here in the 7 o'clock hour. It's brought to you by First National Bank of Taylorville.
I'm James Kirk, Vice President at First National Bank in Taylorville. I get it. Switching banks sounds like a chore, but we make it easy. I've helped people and businesses move their accounts with less hassle than they've expected and more personal service than they've ever gotten before. We've been here for nearly 70 years, a true community bank that's not going anywhere. If you're ready to make a change, we're ready to help. First National Bank in Taylorville, first every time for nearly 70 years. Member FDIC.
County fair season continues to roll on in Illinois. The Grundy County Fair takes center stage in Morris this week. Dan Hill is a third-generation Fair Board member, following his dad and grandfather. The Schuyler County Fair in Rushville also runs this week. It was another big year for tornadoes last year, and 2025 is shaping up to be another. Following an outbreak on June 18th in the central part of the state, Illinois is now at 129 twisters for the year, says state climatologist Trent Ford. Illinois is coming off of a record year for tornadoes in 2024 when there were 142. Prior to last year, however, 2006 held the record for most tornadoes in Illinois with 125. Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home. This is Chad Sparks.
When a loved one passes, grieving family members and friends often are confronted with dozens of decisions about the funeral arrangements. Sutton Memorial Homes in Taylorville and Nokomis have been helping families in the area for over 55 years with these often difficult decisions. They offer pre-planning, traditional funerals, and cremation. Austin and the staff at Sutton Memorial Homes' goal is to make your family's transition easier in their time of need. Sutton Memorial Homes, where caring is what they do best.
47-year-old Daniel W. Slifer of Taylorville died on June 29th. Visitation is July 5th from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. at Howe and Yawkey Funeral Home in Shelbyville. Funeral service will be July 5th at 11 a.m. at Howe and Yawkey Funeral Home in Shelbyville. Burial will be at Hubbard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Howe and Yawkey Funeral Home in Shelbyville. 97-year-old Ellen L. Davis of Taylorville died on June 30th. Memorial service will be July 13th at 3 p.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. A private burial will be at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. 56-year-old Regina M. Boblet of Taylorville died on June 25th. Graveside service is today, July 3rd at 11 a.m. at Brush Creek Cemetery in Divernon. And 67-year-old Joseph H. Gillock of Mount Auburn died on June 29th. Visitation was July 2nd, with a funeral service today, July 3rd at 11 a.m. at Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Burial will be at Mount Auburn Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.
Here's Cousin Bill from Illinois Paving.
Illinois